Hi, I'm Scoot, and welcome to the Scoot of the Air YouTube channel. Are you a subscriber? I want to welcome those of you who are new subscribers to our channel. And you know, I know you're going to see this grow over time. I know I've been saying this, but we're not to that point yet, but we're going to grow this. It's an extension by radio show on WWL. And I hope you become a subscriber. It's free. And if you do subscribe, we give you a personal notice every time we post something. And you can go back and look on the channel and see all the different things that we talk about. And there's some interesting interviews, and some stuff is very political. Some stuff is not. I'm trying to get away from the political stuff because I'm so burnt out, personally and then professionally as a talk show host. I'm burnt out on this bitter right versus left bullshit because that's what it is bullshit. And far too many people have just made their stance and they're standing their ground. And it's like they're standing there on their political property with a gun, protecting their political opinions. I mean, that's the way it seems. So yeah, I'm trying to stray away from that. But look, I made a comment on my radio show yesterday that I realized after the show it was a very elitist comment. And I really don't want to be perceived as an elitist. I was talking about, my car. The city of New Orleans has potholes. Well, they're called potholes. Some of them are actually freaking craters. I hit a crater yesterday, and the crater was so deep. I mean, I have low profile tires on my car, but boom, the bang was so strong, so powerful. It blew out 2 tires. I'm lucky the rims were not ruined. And so I had to get the car towed. I had to, get all that. So look, it was an expensive thing. So the car got towed to the dealership. And I was just on the air saying, well, I mean, how am I even going to get to my car? Well, I guess I'll have to take an Uber. And my studio producer, Ian Hoke, said, well, why don't you take the bus? Take public transit. In New Orleans, that's RTA. And I said, well, how long would it take me to take public transportation out there? He said, probably an hour and a half. I'm going, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take public transportation. I'm not going to submit myself to that. And I realized what an elitist comment that was. Because every day when I get off the air in downtown New Orleans, actually when I go to work and when I leave work, I see people at bus stops in downtown New Orleans. And they're carrying something that obviously they had lunch in. Many of them are wearing shirts or uniforms indicating that they work for hotels as custodial people working in hotels and the domestic service. These are hardworking people. And I think about this all the time. I do. I mean, long before yesterday, I thought about how these people are really working hard jobs. And at the end of their day, they go to a bus stop and they wait to catch the bus. And that's how they get home. And here I am saying, oh, hour and a half on the bus or even an hour on the bus. I'm not going to do that. That was very elitist on my part. And so I corrected that on the air today. And I really want to pay tribute to all of those Americans who take public transportation, especially in cities like New Orleans. Now, when I lived in Portland, Oregon, when I lived in Denver, public transportation was not a problem. They have light rail. They have buses too, but you could take light rail almost anywhere. I mean, in Portland, you could take light rail from the airport to downtown Portland or to even, the suburbs. I mean, light rail goes right to the airport. It's called the Max, and it is awesome. It's like a little train. And in Denver, it's RTD. And you can take RTD to the suburbs and all over Denver. So I use public transportation a lot, even though I had a car. Here in New Orleans, public transportation is a bit more of a challenge. But I really respect those Americans here and all over who bust their ass. They work hard. They take a bus to work. They take a bus home from work. And for many of us, we think that would be just unheard of. So in our daily course of action, let's try to always remember those people who are working harder than we are. And I mean, I had some guy call me and tell me he was in the military and he wanted to thank me for my service to this whole area during Hurricane Ida because we were working two shifts. I mean, I was working like in the afternoon and coming back and going on the air at 2 in the morning until 5 in the morning, living at the radio station. And he wanted to thank me for my service. And I said, okay, you could thank me for my service as long as you and I establish that your service doesn't even compare to my service. My service to this area and my service to society was nothing compared to your service to our country. So I just think we have to keep things in perspective and think about those people that use public transportation. I'd love to hear a comment from you. You can leave a comment, and I respond to just about everybody's comments. I can't always get to it right away, but if you take public transportation, where do you live, and how long do you spend on public transit? Again, here in New Orleans, it's adequate, but it's tough. It's tough to get from one place to another. And it's especially difficult to get from, say, downtown to a lot of different suburban areas around New Orleans. So, my respect goes out to all of those people. I did mention on the last time I took a bus, I was in Denver, and because of circumstances somewhat beyond my control, I lost everything. And I was out of radio. I was still in broadcasting. I was still doing some television. I wasn't making much money. Anyway, the point is, I had to file bankruptcy. And this was over 10 years ago. In filing bankruptcy, I had to give up my car. I had a Toyota 4Runner. So I had to drop it off at the dealership. And I dropped it off at the dealership. And the only way to get home was public transportation. And so there was a moment when I thought about, where I was in life. And here I am dropping off my car because I can't pay for it, filing bankruptcy, and taking public transportation home. But you know what? I love who I am today. That was a really tough, shitty time in my life. But I love my life now. And I love who I have become. And I love the person that I am. I would have never wanted to go through that to get where I am today, but going through that made me who I am today. And I love that person. And I had a caller call in and say, Scoot, when you just told that story, you really touched me and you made me realize that, all of these people in the media who seem like they're on a pedestal, they're like real people too. Yeah, we're like real people. And I can't speak for everybody in the business, but I'm a very real person. And I talk about my scars. I talk about my flaws on the air because I want people to be able to relate to me, that even though I'm in this position on the radio and on social media here, I want people to realize that I'm just a normal person, and I've had shit happen to me too. I've had stuff, taken from me. And shit happens. And so it's just a reminder that in every challenge we face, there's a gift for us. It ain't always obvious when you're going through it. I can tell you that from firsthand experience. You're going through it and you go, I don't know why I'm going through this, but there must be a reason. And if you look for that gift, you ultimately find that gift. And if you want to share with me a challenging time that you went through, I'd love to hear your story. I'd love to hear a challenging time you went through, and that challenging time had a gift. And through that, you became a better person. Love to hear those stories. And I guess I bring this up because if you're going through a tough time now, if you're in a really difficult moment in your life, don't be depressed. I mean, I know it's depressing, but don't be depressed. It doesn't always have to be this way. And the one thing that nobody can take from you is the faith that you have in yourself. In fact, I have a tattoo that is Japanese for faith in oneself. Let me see if I can get this up. This would have been easier if I would have had a short sleeve shirt on. But that is, oh my God. I forgot I had a long sleeve shirt on underneath. That is the Japanese character for having faith in yourself. And so I realized a long time ago in life that the one thing that nobody can take from you, I'll just wear half a shirt for the rest of this. The one thing that nobody can take from you is the faith that you have in yourself and your work ethic. A lot of stuff can happen to you, but hold on to that. Take it one day at a time, one step at a time. And I think about where I was, and there were some sad stories there. But look where I am today. I mean, my life is awesome. And I mean, I've gotten older and my life is still great. So for those of you who are Zoomers and millennials and Xers, man, take care of yourself. You got a lot to look forward to. And if you go through a tough time, look for the gift and just keep looking for what's next. And hang in there. It'll get better. Join me on my radio show on WWL 870 AM 105.3 FM. That's in New Orleans in the Gulf South. Or you can go to the website. I'm on 1 to 4 in the afternoon Central Time. Ian Hoke is my studio producer, does a great job with me. Kind of keeps me in line at times. And you can go to our website, wwl.com, and stream us live or download the app Odyssey, Audacy, and type in WWL.